Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, David Riggleman, Communications Director for the City of Las Vegas. Coming up on this program, donations, love, and support continue to reach those in need during these tough times. And a new bike trail at Floyd Lamb Park is set to open. The councilwoman, who is also our Mayor Pro Tem and represents Ward 6, Michelle Fiore, joins me now. Welcome, Mayor Pro Tem. How are you?
I'm good. You know, in these times, we're good, right?
We're going to make the best of it. We're social distance here, as you can see.
You're far away.
We look like, we're a football field away here by that screen. But we're staying safe.
Yes.
And so far, we've weathered this. We're getting through it. And you're helping a lot of other folks out there get through all of this. Let's start with business as usual. Ward 6, if you don't know where Ward 6 is located, we'll show you, we'll orient you. This is the area of town that she represents, appropriately enough with the 6 on. It's our northwest area of the valley. If you live in that area or work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas, and you're represented on the city council by our Mayor Pro Tem, Michelle Fiore. And everybody at the city, you included, and we're going to talk a lot about that today, working hard to help people manage this whole pandemic. And one of the things that we want to talk about right up front is just the resources that we have available here at the city to help people. A lot of folks obviously know about this now based on the numbers we're seeing, but if you don't, we have a couple resources out there we want to tell everybody about, Mayor Pro Tem. We have our call center, 229-CARE, or 229-CARE, or 2273. Help people answer a lot of questions. We're getting about 600 phone calls a day on average. And we also do about 100 live chats a day there online to help answer questions for people. A lot of those questions are like, how can I find help right now? I'm a business, I need help. I'm an individual, I need help. And so that's really what we're trying to provide. And then also at the same time, we have our blog on the city's website, lasvegasnevada.gov/coronavirus. It's had about 350,000 clicks. Same information you could get at the call center, just making that available to everyone to kind of help them navigate these uncharted waters that we're in.
It's tough times, and David, the toughest time that we're having is for folks that can't get on the unemployment yet. Yeah. Several of them have. The checks are still rolling in from the federal government. In your bank account, just the little stimulus, whether it's $1,200 or $4,000, depending upon how many children you have. I know my mom, who's 70, who's on Social Security, she just got a check for like $1,100 and something just yesterday. So, you know, there's rolling in. The things that worry me is for the folks that have been out of work for 8 weeks and the unemployment hasn't rolled in.
And your office is hearing a lot of that, although we are a lot at the city. And I know Dieter is trying, the State Department of Employment and Training is trying to get the system going, but it's just been...
We need a new system, unfortunately. So with Dieter, we've got an antiquated system. Our servers are out of the state, and so we need a new system. And no one knew this was going to happen, so we were not prepared. But going through it, I have to give everyone kudos for everything they're doing day and night, 24/7,
they are.
To make sure. I mean, I know I work a lot with our County Commissioner Chairwoman, Marilyn Kirkpatrick. She's got Delivery with Dignity, which has been a godsend. We have a lot of the food shares all over 3 Square. I personally deliver food to a lot of my constituents that just are having a struggle. And it's Delivery with Dignity. It's like, don't ever feel bad. Like, people believe it, David. They love to help you. They'll never, people want to help their neighbors, and they want to help everyone.
And despite the tough times we're in, I think that's one of the things, this has been a rough go, and all of us know firsthand what this has been like. But there's been a lot of help and good in the community. People have pulled together to support one another as well, and that's really been heartwarming in the midst of all of this as well. Anyway, but I want to talk about the things that you've done. I think not only have you helped those in need, but you've tried to help bolster the spirits of those who are on the front line in all this, our first responders, our hospital staff, etc. You posted this on Facebook. You said supplies. Today in front of City Hall, we distributed bags filled with masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, healthy snacks, and sweets. And this was really something too, because when this all first started, trying to find a mask, trying to
Yeah.
find a hand sanitizer or the disinfecting wipes, all of a sudden they were just nowhere to be found. So those things were like gold, and there you were making sure that people had them.
That particular day was for our home health care workers, because we've had to make sure, our home health care workers had some PPE, and our correctional officers and our marshals. Our firefighters, thank goodness, have PPEs, but our corrections had a tough time with it, and so did our marshals.
Yeah.
And we're still working on getting them more PPEs and accepting donations from people.
Absolutely, and I know that people were very appreciative to get that stuff, especially back when that took place. So, and then you also posted this on Facebook. You said, "Thank you, James Visculia, for donating 2,600 bottles of water this morning." And who did that go to, Mayor Pro Tem?
That went to Share Village.
Share Village, yeah.
Yeah, so Share
yeah.
Village. So, one thing, I got to give James Visculia a lot of credit. He has donated water and food, and he's actually donating, besides to the hospitals, to our marshals. He works with Rolling Smoke Barbecue. And then we've had a couple of other anonymous donors
I know
as
you
well.
have. I know, and we've been careful not to say who they are
Yeah.
because they want it that way.
Yeah.
But it doesn't diminish the
Yes, what they're
magnitude of
doing.
what they're doing and,
Yeah.
and the thousands of bottles of water and everything else that they've been giving.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
been phenomenal. This goes on, and it's really heartwarming. You had this on Facebook today. You said, "Today we gave a huge thank you to Southern Hills Hospital and Medical Center for all that they do daily." And this was a donation. I think you're talking about this where the food from Payman's.
Yeah,
Payman's
food-
restaurant was.
So this was, Payman's was one of my big anonymous donors here. But I'll tell you, Payman, Payman.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
Payman. Eric
Great
knows Payman.
restaurant. Yeah, everyone knows Payman.
Everyone knows Payman. But his story is amazing, David. Payman came to the city of Las Vegas through Catholic Charities, through our Refuge program,
Wow.
37 years ago. And he started here, and look at him now. I mean, he gives back to the community.
He does.
He's such an asset to our society. So when I look at that, I think, wow, we really have to look at programs.
He really, too, it's a wonderful restaurant. If you've never eaten at Payman's, it has really good food. So anytime they want to donate, you want to take advantage of it
Yes.
because it's delicious. It's a Greek Mediterranean food, and it's wonderful. But to donate that much, especially to the hospital staff, that
400 people.
yeah, that's a lot of folks, and they've
That's-
been working around the clock. And I know that without a break, really, it's just been going on and on now for many weeks. We've got a lot of sick people
8
that
weeks.
are coming, that have been coming through and have been treating. And so for you guys, Payman, and everybody involved to take a moment to say, hey, thanks. We appreciate what you're doing. Thanks for staying strong for the rest of us. That's a big deal. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And we have also for our own homeless corridor of hope, we have a great friend of mine, Javid, who just is donating 6,000 bottles of water to the Corridor of Hope, our homeless shelter. I mean, so these are people that are really stepping up. And same with Southern Hills, besides Payman's, Rolling Smoke Barbecue.
Yeah, wanna
and I
mention
love
them.
their logo. It's making barbecue great again,
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
Rolling Smoke Barbecue. So
Yeah,
James,
Payman's Rolling Smoke,
yeah.
and then Trades Made Easy who
Yeah.
really stepped up with not just small donations, you guys,
Yeah,
not
huge.
nickels and dimes, huge donations.
Yeah.
It's got to be cutting into their bottom line, whatever that looks like these days.
Of course it is, and remember, they're closed, so
yeah.
they're only open for takeout,
Exactly.
right? And for Rolling Smoke Barbecue to basically go half, to feed 400 people,
Exactly.
it's a big deal.
It
And
is.
that was Trading Made Easy, and Rolling Smoke Barbecue, and they're doing it again with our marshals and firefighters.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'm hearing that restaurants are doing maybe a third of the business if they're doing curbside now, if they're lucky at this point.
And I'm
So,
sad because one of our staples, Ricardo's, who's been here 40 years,
going away.
they're going away,
Yeah.
and they just couldn't, get enough of the curbside or to-go orders to stay in business,
Yeah.
and it's very, very sad. So
We've said this all along. If you have the opportunity and you can still support some of these businesses through ordering curbside or through delivery, boy, please do it, because that just keeps our economy going and keeps these places afloat, which is only good for all of us, right?
So that's one of my main points with this, is to make sure, like Lino's, right? Lino's fed our Centennial Hills Hospital.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, we've got that. Yeah,
small little pizzeria restaurant, and so just to make sure we support our small businesses,
exactly.
so they stay afloat during these hard times. And trying
they're
to get
helping,
to them all.
try to help them if you can, you know,
Absolutely.
reciprocate it somehow by just throwing them some business, right? Mayor Pro Tem, so many donations. Capriotti's donated to the ICU at Desert Springs Hospital. Boy, those folks are seeing some rough situations, and so there's the donation of the Capriotti's food to the folks out there. How many was?
It was ICU. It was the whole ICU unit.
Wow,
So
wow.
yeah.
Well, that's
pretty
really
interesting.
That's great.
Yeah.
So thank you, Capriotti's. And then you mentioned Lino's and payments teaming up again. There's payment again.
Yeah.
You posted this on Facebook. You said, we appreciate the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Northwest Area Command as you keep Ward 6 and our city safe. They have had no days off, obviously, through all of this. For the police and fire and all the first responders, this is just another day for them.
And remember, with those folks, they have to stop working for 2 weeks if they're exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're short. So then we've got other officers that are picking up those shifts, and it's been very difficult for our public safety division.
We saw that within our own fire department. We had 4 firefighters within our own department came in contact with people who were COVID-19 positive. So they had to quarantine for those days. And knock on wood, Councilwoman, Mayor Pro Tem, we've been fortunate at the city. We've had not that many employees. We've had 4 in the fire, 2 in DPS, 1 in our CEA leadership, and 1 person in community service, a total of 8 in the entire city that have tested positive. So we've been fortunate, knock on wood. We hope it stays that way. But we've been safe here. We've social distanced. We've disinfected like crazy. We've tried to keep people that don't need to be at work at home, work from home, and platoon people that way to try to limit the number of people that are in the office at any given time while still operating. We haven't shut anything down other than our
and thank goodness with our city, because David, I was in China in October, right? So, coming back from China, and we visited 5 cities when we were there. So, thinking about that, and getting tested, ourselves, because Councilwoman Seaman and I were there, and so she got tested and I got tested, and we don't have it, so we're still at risk of being exposed to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of us, right, at this point, right.
So so if you're negative, if you test negative, then you don't have it and you don't have the antibodies for it. So if you test positive, then, quarantine, or they also have these tests to see if you have the antibodies. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole uncertainty about all of this. If I test positive, was I really symptomatic, or do I just have the antibodies?
Right. And besides China,
but you have to isolate, and the people who came in contact with you have to isolate.
So then besides China, I was at CES giving a speech. So, I mean, being a representative, it's kind of like the front, our first responders were on the front lines, and through this whole pandemic, I've not taken a day off from work. We're here every day.
You have not.
Yeah.
And a lot of these donations, you work at City Hall, obviously, during our regular hours, but then a lot of these things have happened after hours or on the weekends that we're taking care of. So, you're going.
We work 7 days a week, and the reason why is because the people that are going through this rough time, David, I want them to know that they don't even have to answer their door. And this is what we've done for several of our constituents. We go and we deliver, depending upon how many people are in the house, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If it's, 2 people, we deliver them 4 boxes. If it's 4 people, 8 of food. It's not 1 day's worth of food. We try to give them a week's supply. And we just deliver it. And then I'll call Marianne and I'll say, okay, call them, tell them to open the door so nothing goes bad, so nothing goes bad. Right. But so no, and that doesn't happen Monday through Thursday from 9 to 5. That happens Monday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Our last and latest delivery was a little after 10. I received a call and they said, we just don't know what to do. And so, things like that.
Your office has gotten so many of those calls that people are just at the to the last of their savings now.
And I just don't want them to be. I want them to know they will always have food.
Yeah.
I never want them to worry.
Right. No one's going to go hungry. You've said that more than once. You honored these folks with the help of Ahern Hotel, fed first responders, again, trying to keep those folks bolstered up. This was really, this is a restaurant. I've never been there, but I really got to check it out. But anyway, they provided not only the food, but a place for our first responders to come and have a meal, right?
Yes.
Because they're out in the field, they're police officers. Normally they could go to a restaurant.
Yes.
Well, those are all closed now,
Yes.
so they need a place just to go and have lunch. So Ahern gave them at least a place, a corner there where they were obviously social distance, but where at least they could sit down and eat then.
So what we tried to facilitate is all areas of the valley, a south area, a middle area, and a northwest area. So on the southwest area, we have South Point that allowed our Metro police officers, first responders to go into South Point, whatever their hours were, 12, noon to 9 or whatever it was, so they can actually go and have a meal and sit down, social distancing, get out of their car, get off their bikes. And then Ahern was amazing. Blake and George over at Ahern has the restaurant. It's called today Unknown, but they got Chef Mark from the ward. So Chef Mark is the chef, and they have an amazing first responder menu, and they can come in and they can sit and they can have a meal, lunch or dinner when they're on duty. And then also with the Ahern, we had Pink Box.
I saw those on the table.
Donate donuts every day. So minimally, Metro police officers, all our first responders, our marshals, can go into Ahern and have donuts and soda and coffee free.
Yeah.
And then they have a very nice menu.
A place to sit
down.
too,
And they have their lunches are like salmon, burgers.
Roll and Smoke, of course, we mentioned them. They didn't want to be outdone here. They've had our city marshals as well. Making sure. Of course, they have the same issue too. They're out in the field. Where are they going to go just to have their lunch?
No,
everything's closed.
Exactly.
So.
And who wants to eat in their car?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly when it's 100 degrees outside, which we've seen now already. And then you, not slowing down here at all, you had this on Facebook. You said, today we brought our Las Vegas firefighters some ice cream to keep their spirits up. And of course, this has just been, they're on the front line every day, no matter what's happening in the world. And there they are again. It's Marianne from your staff and Chance from your staff.
Absolutely. And I have to thank Anderson Dairy, because Anderson Dairy donated 500 ice creams for our first responders. And so I love those guys. Yep. And there's Marianne.
Yeah, with all the firefighters there. And
so my staff gets to do the fun things.
I know. Where are you? You're not out. It's all
so
them getting to pass out the ice cream. Yeah,
I have to
where
stay
are you?
I'm in briefing.
Yeah, you're working. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm at the office working.
So, and they get to get the smiles with the ice cream passed out. That's good stuff, though. Well, you're spreading the wealth to them as well. And then the Coral Academy, Centennial Hills. Some videos. Tell me about this.
So it's graduation.
Oh,
it's graduation.
That's right.
So it's happy graduation, and Coral Academy is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, I help them with their gardening.
Their community garden.
Yes, I love that,
Yeah.
and I want kids to
I know,
learn.
Graduates, this is a horrible time to be graduating, right?
Oh my goodness, and birthday parties too. I mean,
know.
everyone's doing drive-up birthday parties,
I know.
So yeah, we got to get back to normal, whatever our new normal is, right?
Exactly. Well, I'm glad that you helped with the graduation, made it, at least some kind of special event. It's not going to be the same as walking across the stage with the cap and gown, but at least they got recognized. Thank you for doing that. And along the same line, too, you read to kids online. You posted this on Facebook. Good afternoon. Hope you and your kids enjoy, because you were going to read to them.
Yep.
And you have to tell us what you read to the kids here.
So it was so amazing. So the first book I read was The Best Park Ever. And understand, the best park ever came from a park in my ward, the Polly Gonzalez Park. And they wanted a wheelchair swing, because I'm trying to get special needs equipment in all of our parks. I have 17 parks, and I have 2 down and 15 more to go. And so we've got the wheelchair swing, and it's amazing. So the best park ever was all about the wheelchair swing, and the people that helped and contributed to it. And then after the best park ever, I read What to Do with an Idea, and I used the idea of making that park into a reality, and showed them pictures of it, and it was really cool.
You should mention too, not only did you get the wheelchair swing at Polly Gonzalez Park, but you also, you had got sensory walls for people with autism at a couple of your parks as well. So those are great features that we didn't have anywhere else in the city at that point.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that all of our council follow suit, and we really make all of our parks accessible for all of our handicapped
Yeah,
children.
exactly. We want everyone included. That's the idea here, including our people who are bike aficionados. And we have to tell everybody out there, we have a new pump track. And again, if you are an off-road kind of bicyclist, you like the BMX whole kind of experience, this is going to be a must for you. But this pump track is out of flight. And I mean, look at this thing, you guys. This is like, you know, Olympic style kind of stuff. Where you get on that and you want to work out, ride around that thing a few times.
Yeah.
And you know, the topography there was just perfect for this. It's that little mesa or hill that just provided the. And then check this out. You get a sense of, man, that looks like it's a lot of uphill there.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a heck of a workout. Do it early in the morning this time of year because it's going to get pretty hot out there. That is, look at that, goes on. And then look at this.
Yeah.
This is the whole bank turns and, you know.
This is a tough, I compare that track to skiing, right?
Yeah.
I'm a blue skier, right? Very comfortable on the bunny slopes, but I'm a blue skier, not a black skier. And I don't like moguls. I'm not a black diamond girl. But this track, you know, make sure that you know what trail you're going on, because I compare it to black diamond moguls. So you better just I'm going on the green. I'm going on the green trail when we go out on May 23rd.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm not an expert like Eric. Eric rides 50 miles on his bike.
I know. And then laughs about it.
And I know. And I would be dropping dead.
right, me too. Where are my legs?
Yeah. So I'm just excited about the track. I will tell you, I've sent my staff out there. It's packed already.
Wow.
People are crazy out there.
The official grand opening is the 23rd, everyone. That's going to take place out there. Here are the details. Saturday the 23rd, 8:30. Out at Floydland Park at Tule Springs. If you love biking, especially those types of challenging trails, this is definitely for you. I'm thinking that maybe we'll have some competition, some events out there around this potentially. Is that?
I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure.
It's Las Vegas.
Without a doubt. So that's
trail.
what we're looking. This is the sports capital. You know, people used to say it's the gaming capital, entertainment capital.
That's true.
It's becoming the sports capital. We have all of our sports teams. We have bikes out there now. I mean, it's going to be fabulous.
We've had cyclocross here. It's been popular, and that's kind of a similar thing. So we'll see where that leads us. We're looking forward to that. Again, May 23rd, everybody's the official grand opening. And then, of course, if you are a Star Wars fan, May the 4th be with you. Obviously, it has a lot of meaning. You had this on Facebook. You said, a fabulous surprise for our Injured Police Officers Fund and their incredible Star Wars land speeder, along with our law enforcement agencies, joined forces to bring a little cheer to our City Hall family. And if you love Star Wars, then check this out. That land speeder thing, it really drives around. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
And you pulled up. Somebody said at City Hall, she said, Michelle knows how to make an entrance. So there you are with Darth Vader and Chewbacca and the whole crew.
Yes, and it's amazing. So that's our Metro Police officers. That's their car. It's a Star Wars car. And then Mindy Lloyd from our Injured Police Officers Fund called me, and she's like, let's deliver ice cream to the city, all city employees. And I'm like, okay. So I went out and bought 500 pieces of ice cream.
I know.
And then we gave it all to our employees.
I
mean, they're
during
showing
the noon
up.
hour,
And so I thank Mindy and our police, and that car was such fun.
Really cool.
And I mean, and they had the music, dun, 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 dun.
Exactly.
It was so fun.
It was cool stuff. And so, and the staff here got ice cream out of the deal. Too,
out of the deal.
It was fun. It was really fun. And then, speaking of fun, you had the Easter celebration. We social distanced this. It was kind of a drive-through pickup, almost like you're going to a drive-through or pickup at a restaurant. And everybody social distance there, as you can see. But for kids that we're hoping to have the Easter Bunny come, this is about as good as we could make it this year. Couldn't do egg hunts. Couldn't do the normal things, so we did it this way. And Mayor Pro Tem's office pulled it off. See, everybody's got their masks on, and there you are on the right. And it was, how many cars do you have?
So we clocked 940 cars, and then we had 60 bags left over.
Wow.
And so we literally took the 60 bags to one of my favorite organizations, Child Haven. And I say Child Haven because that's where our children go if they're not with their mom and dad, and until they figure it out. Maybe their mom and dad comes back. And there's 7 different cottages, and it's all different ages. And when I think about Child Haven and I think about, CPS, Child Protective Services, bringing children there, I want people to know some of our biggest stars and our greatest leaders here in the city of Las Vegas came from Child Haven. Our chairwoman, who was a Speaker of the House in Carson City, Marilyn Kirkpatrick, humble beginnings, Child Haven. Our county commissioner, Lawrence Weekly, humble beginnings, Child Haven.
Wow.
So
Didn't know that.
yep. So I really, when I look at Child Haven, and obviously the love, support, and guidance that they've provided over the years to so many children, a safe place, food, and just moral compass guiding. Look what we got out of there, and I'm sure there's many, many more.
Yeah. Boys Town.
Yes.
Have similar stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone has value. That's the
That's
idea.
right.
So.
That's right.
Mayor Pro Tem, we're about out of time. We want to remind everybody, census, please make sure you get counted. This is really important. Only about 54% of the households in Nevada have been accounted for at this point. Where it's okay, we got a ways to go yet. We need to get every household accounted, everyone.
But it's all about federal funding.
It is.
And I want them to know that. It's just about our federal funding for our state.
Yeah.
It's not about your immigration status.
No.
It's not about your criminal status.
Exactly.
They
don't report any of that.
Right. So when the federal government looks at giving the state money, just like, for the pandemic, we just got $1-point-something billion to the state. The largest county got a check and our city got a check. But the money that the state received is to go out to all the other municipals and the counties that didn't get a direct check. So that money comes from being counted.
Exactly. It's a portion based on the population.
Yes, it's exactly. And so I want people to understand it's not Big Brother. We're not tracking you. We're not putting whatever they call it in you. It's
a
just
chip,
literally to be counted so we can get the federal funding.
And the information, I think, is confidential for 70 years, too.
Yes,
so,
right, exactly. So if you're in trouble or if you did a crime, you'll be dead by the time they figure it out. So just don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Just please be counted. Make sure your house. Online, paper survey, or a census taker, once this pandemic kind of calms down, will come and come to your house if you haven't filled out the other two. So, and then we're really almost out of time here, but I want to tell everybody, meet with Michelle. Your next one, May 29th, out at Centennial Hills. If it's open, it'll be inside. If it's not,
it'll be in the parking lot.
In the parking lot, social distance, all of that. But if you need to meet with Mayor Pro Tem, talk to her about issues within the ward, she will be available that morning from 9 to 10 that day. So you haven't missed a beat. So we're out of time here, big time. So I want to tell everybody out there, if we always want to hear from you. If you have something that you'd like to share with the Mayor Pro Tem, you can find her on Facebook and Twitter. You can also contact her just by picking up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send her an email. Her address is mfiore@lasvegasnevada.gov. And she or one of her wonderful staff will get right back to you. You always do. So
it's true.
Good seeing you. Stay safe. We'll have you back in 6 weeks. We'll do it again, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Access City Council. Our next show begins airing on May 21st with Ward 1 City Councilman Brian Knutson. You can catch all of our KCLV shows now on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around. Stay safe, everyone.